So in part one we discussed what might be causing a problem, and in part two we're going to discuss what can you do, once you start facing this problem during your workout, or if it gets in the way of your workout. So what I do is the moment I feel even if it's a mild pain or whatever during the workout, I always try to quit my workout. Now this is something I never did. I always was too egoistic not to stop my training, but as you grow older and you realize how sensitive your body is, and overusing it might cost you in the long term, you should mature and understand that this is not a good approach to training. So whenever I feel pain during an exercise, if it's shoulder pain or whatever, I try always to stop my training, and rest for a day. So what you're going to do if you start feeling this pain, especially if it's acute pain in your shoulder, stop the workout, relax, go do something else, and give it 24 hours. Once 24 hours have passed, what I do is I do a self-assessment. These are going to be 3 simple ways to assess your shoulder and see if it's okay. Sometimes you might not feel the pain the next day, but your shoulder might be still damaged. So using these 3 tests, you can see if your shoulder is actually still damaged and if you can train or not. So the first test you're going to do is you're going to raise your hand on the side, at shoulder height about, and from this position you're going to bring it upwards while turning your palm upwards also together. So bring your hand upwards and see if you're feeling any pain, if you're having any sensitivity on the shoulder. If you want to be more sure about this, what you can do is also put a friend to put some pressure on your arm, press it downwards, so to resist the movement from bringing your hand upwards, and see if there's pain over here. Obviously don't tell your friend to put too much load, just a mild amount of weight of about 2 kilos or 4 pounds. So make him press your arm and try to resist it and push it upwards. If you feel pain, then that's a sign that your shoulder is still it's still damaged and you shouldn't train. The second test you should do is bringing your hands, both your arms upwards in the frontal plane. So bring both your arms upwards, keeping your elbows always straight, and try to see if you can pass your arms behind your head. So another thing you have to observe over here is not to cheat the exercise by hyperextending your back, to keep your body straight always while you're doing this exercise. If you're feeling pain, or you feel that your range of motion is not very good, if you can pass your arms behind a little bit, at least a little bit behind your head, then that's probably also another point that you are still damaged, your shoulder is still damaged, and once again you should not train and go see a specialist. And the third test you can do, which is my favorite, which never fails for me to see if my shoulder is okay, is you take your hand and bring it on your shoulder like this, bend the elbow and put your elbow down, bring your hand close to your body, and from this position bring your elbow upwards. Now if you feel any pain or sensitivity, and which doesn't allow you to bring your hand a lot more upwards, this is another sign that you have a problem again on your shoulder. This is probably a sign that you have kind of shoulder impingement or something like that. If you're not sure, you can compare, use your healthy shoulder and bring your arm upwards and see if there's a difference in the mobility and the sensitivity, because sometimes you get used to pain and you might not be sure, especially if you've had this problem long enough. So compare both hands and see what's the mobility and if you feel any sensitivity. And if you do feel again pain or sensitivity, this is again a sign that you have a damaged shoulder and you should go and see a specialist. So these are the 3 tests I use. Always use them, rest for 24 hours and use this test to see if you can